You know what I hate about those entrepreneurs? That when they start bashing people working a 9 to 5, I want you to understand one thing, that without those people working to 9 to 5, you wouldn't exist. I'm talking to you, the entrepreneur. I wouldn't exist. 9 to 5 is something for people to go, learn, get skills, improve themselves, have a mindset, and for them to understand where they're going on afterwards. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Everybody's not cut to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people have this misconception that if you're an entrepreneur, you're free, you have your feet put up on a table, you tell people what to do all the time, and you just drink coffee and do nothing. Actually, it's the quite opposite. You work more than the people working for you. Now, if you want to venture out of this video and you still want to be an entrepreneur, please like, subscribe, follow, and share. And I want to hear your comments about the people who bash the average Joe who works in 9 to 5. I used to be one of those. I used to work a 9 to 5. That's what made me who I am today, that 9 to 5 job. My manager, my boss wouldn't exist without me, because I was the one covering for him when he was not there. I was the one leading when he was not there. And that leadership, that ownership, made me who I am today. It made me learn, it made me understand the types of mistakes I'm making, and based on those mistakes, I was able to organize, I was able to understand, I was able to grow to who I am. Without those jobs, you're not going to be able to grow. You can be an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, as much as you like. But if you don't go and work for somebody, you don't go and work your ass off at a certain place, and you don't have a boss, you're never going to be the best entrepreneur that you think you can be. There's a benefit working to a 9 to 5. I was watching this video on Instagram the other day where there's this culture of condemning people working a 9 to 5. I want to tell those people that whoever is condemning, they're idiots. They're not very bright, they're not very smart, and please don't watch them, and please don't learn from them. Please don't buy their course, because they have no clue what they're doing. I was a waiter at one time in my life. And you know what I learned while being a waiter? Number one thing, communication. I was able to speak to people that have never been able to do so before. I was able to interact with people from different lifestyles, from different environments, from different backgrounds, and every single time I learned something from one of them. In the beginning, I was very shy. However, later on, I just opened up. And what did that come from? Me being a busser, me being a waiter, me interacting with customers, bringing them drinks, bringing them food. They're telling me to do something, and I treated every single person or every single table as like a separate entity. You know why? Because I wanted to get the most tip out of it. I wanted to make the most money out of it. If I gave great service, I would make more money. If I gave terrible service, well, tough luck. I'll be excited if they gave me that 18% on a 6-person table. Another life lesson you can learn from a 9 to 5, that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. You might think that you can be one, and then you might try it, and then you may fail, and then you may get disappointed. That's why you should do a 9 to 5. That's why you should first, try and see if this is the right fit for you. Without those 9 to 5s, it's like the blue-collar worker. It's like middle-class America. They are the backbone of the country. And the 9 to 5ers, they're the backbone of your business. They're the backbone of my business. And you cannot not appreciate them. You have to only appreciate them. You always have to recognize them. You always have to tell them that they are fantastic as much as you think you are. This is something very critical that a lot of people do not recognize. A lot of people out there in this hustle culture, in the culture of making millions of dollars on Instagram and making millions of dollars on online, doing things, and then bashing those average people, those teachers, those mechanics. Your kid is going to go to school. Who's going to teach your kids? You? I don't think so. The teacher who works from 9 to 5. You going to go get your car fixed. Who's going to fix your car? You? I highly doubt it. The mechanic is going to fix your car. The person who works 9 to 5, that's the person that's going to fix your car. And I'm so upset about the culture that today I see on Instagram and online on YouTube. People preaching these stupid things that they have no experience, no clue, and no identification how to react to those people working 9 to 5. Being an entrepreneur is not all glitz and glamour. You don't get to walk onto the red carpet that people think you walk on every single day. When you open up your door, people don't just flash a red carpet and say, hey sir, hey ma'am, well, welcome to the office. What can I do for you? What can I bring you? Can I give you a massage? Can I buy you lunch? No, it doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. You know what they do? They come and attack you with 10,000 questions asking you, hey, this person called, hey, this person emailed, hey, what do I answer to this person? That's what an entrepreneur is. Because we don't live a simple life, we solve problems. And that's what every single great entrepreneur does. They solve problems. That is the difference between somebody working in a 9-to-5. That is the difference between somebody being an entrepreneur. And like I said, being a 9-to-5 is what makes a great entrepreneur. That's the best start to be an entrepreneur. And as I said it before, you want to be successful in business? Go work for somebody. Learn that business. Learn communication. Learn how to manage. Learn the right leadership style. Learn that your boss did something and you disliked it, so you don't do the same thing to your employee. Learn how to treat others the way you want to be treated. Learn how to make deadlines. Learn how to keep promises so people working for you can do the same. That's the difference between a 9-to-5 person and an entrepreneur. And remember, without a great infantry, there are no great generals.